Howdy, I'm Brent English, Robust Tools. It's a beautiful day here in downtown Barneveld, Wisconsin, and we're going to give you a little tour of Robust Tools. This is our building in my background, and the boys are all busy working inside, so let's go in and see what they're up to. We bought this building in 2012. At the time it seemed really big, but now we feel like we're starting to outgrow it a little bit. We do not have a retail area. When you come into the shop, you walk right onto the lathe assembly floor. All the lathes are fully assembled and test ran before we ship them. On the floor today, we have 3 American Beauties, as well as 2 Sweet 16s that we're working on. Over in the Scout area, we're putting some final touches on a Scout. We just put the Made in America sticker on it, now a safety sticker on the guard, and vinyl transfer decal for the headstock that says Scout. And we're pretty fussy about its placement, like it to look really nice. And that's how the customer will see it. Back on the production floor, Todd, our manufacturing manager on the left, is discussing some next steps with Joe, our CNC programmer. We've got some parts that have been previously machined on the CNC lathe that need to go through the mill. These are spindle parts. This specific one is a spindle lock block. When you lock the spindle and the rod in the headstock comes up and engages the spindle, this is the part that it goes on to. We're machining this in our Haas vertical mill with a 4th axis. You can see the milling cutter working around, and that's what the final part looks like. I mentioned the CNC lathe a moment ago, and we're running some parts on it today too. We're doing side 1 of our cup drive. Cup drive is an alternate to the spur drive, and we're turning the Morse taper end of the cup drive right now. And Mike is loading the lathe up, and it's hard to get a good shot of the lathe in operation, but we'll stick the camera in the window for just a second. You see it start up. Coolant starts spraying around there and makes it hard to see. This part gets 100% inspection. Beauty lathe bed. We start out with a 3/8 inch wall structural steel tube that's 8 inch by 8 inch. We set it up on the diamond and weld these saddles on, and these saddles will be used to support the ways. You can see we've got really good ventilation for the welder, and he's wearing his own air system to keep his air nice and clean. When Brock's done welding, he goes through and he cleans 100% of the weld spatter off. He really pays a great deal of attention to the quality of work that he does. And I'm going to show you some of his welds. There's really no reason to buy a robot when you got a welder who can do this quality of work. Here's a lathe bed just back from powder coating. We use a color called silver vein. You can see they do a really nice job. After it's powder coated, we surface grind the top of the ways to make them nice and smooth and flat. Really makes the stainless steel shine. We run coolant during this operation because it generates quite a lot of heat. Tool rests are a big part of our business. Some of you may know all of our tool rests have a hardened rod on the top that is really hard to nick or ding. Right now, Donnie is welding up some comfort rests, and he also has some low profile rests that he's going through. So he's welding the post on right now, and Don's really proficient at this, and he can really crank these tool rests out. Here's some of the finished ones, all ready to go out on order for a dealer. We have about 44 different tool rests that we make. Most of them are in stock, and then we also make custom ones too. All of our castings come from foundries here in Wisconsin, and all of them need a little prep work before they go out for powder coating. And Brock, the same fellow that does a wonderful job of welding, he preps most of the castings, and we have a downdraft table that takes care of most of the dust, and then he also is wearing some personal protection equipment. We're starting to make some real inroads with our Turner's Edge line of cutting tools. And here's some gouges that are in process. I'm going to show you a little bit of the milling operation. Joe's loading up some fixtures right now, And here, this is just the end of the cycle that puts the flat along the full length that helps you with your grinding jig. We're going to do a tool change, and we'll see how the flutes are cut. This will be the first part of the roughing operation. We're not going to watch a whole thing, but we'll catch a little bit of the roughing operation for the flutes. And you can see the flute being cut there. All the gouges get a rough grind before they go out to heat treat. We just do this on a belt sander, do our finish grinding later. And then this is our very first lot of negative rake scrapers and round nose scrapers. And these will all be marketed under the Turner's Edge brand. And these particular ones are M42. Over in our assembly area, Charlie is putting some finish gouges together. We now offer our gouges with and without handles. We have 5 different gouges right now that we're doing. A 5/8 bowl gouge, a 1/2-inch spindle and bowl gouge, and a 3/8 spindle and bowl gouge. Well, here's Brock again. He helps pack these lathes before they go out for shipment. They all get wiped down. They're all shipped out, fully assembled in a full box crate. Hey, that concludes our little tour. Thanks for stopping by. Learn more about us on our website, turnrobust.com, or visit any of our dealers. Have a good day.